Alright, so today I wanted to talk about a concept that almost everybody in calisthenics gets wrong, and that is mistaking volume for endurance. I'm sure that if you train statics, you've probably heard 1,000 times the intensity versus volume framework. And here's the funny part, your favorite athletes is most likely mistranslating endurance into volume. When they talk about just do some volume, bro, most of the times they actually mean you should probably do some specific endurance work. Now this mix-up is what I believe being the main reason why so many athletes are stuck on straddle planche, stuck on ugly full planche, and just cannot seem to progress at all. Now these former mentioned athletes, I know that in their coaching they're most likely following the right techniques and the right methods, but the things that they're sharing online is only the tip of the iceberg. As someone who is not their client, you're looking only at the tip of the iceberg and you're drawing conclusions about the whole training structure, and you're getting the wrong conclusions. That's how you get stuck. That's how you end up training something that is completely wrong, something that is thwarting your progress more than it's helping it. So today I'll break it down so that you'll never mess up these concepts ever again. Alright, let's start with the simplest part. What exactly is volume? Volume is the amount of high intensity sets that you did. That's it. It's not how many repetitions you did in the training. It's not the duration of the workout. It's not the rest time between the sets, or it's not how dead you feel at the end of the set. It literally means how many sets of the intense movement that you're trying to learn did you do. And so if you did 5 sets of full planche and you're trying to learn the full planche, your total volume of the training is 5. So if you're doing 5 sets of planche in your training, that's 5 sets of volume. That's it. So you might also have heard of the term voluminous set. What a voluminous set is a set where you incorporated different high intensity movement patterns together in one set. For example, a 1-on-1, a 2-to-2, where hold, push-up, press are all similar intensity, and that's a voluminous set. It doesn't have to be long. Now let's talk about what endurance is. Endurance is not volume. Endurance is actually 6 different energy systems. That's where people get confused. People say endurance, but they mean 6 different skills. And then people say volume, but they actually mean endurance. So let's clean it up. Depending on the categorization, there are 6 types of endurance. Now, the first type of endurance is max strength endurance, which allows you to repeat clean, high-intensity sets across a session without falling apart. For example, 6 sets of 4 seconds planche holds, or 4 sets of 4 front lever pull-ups. This is the endurance type that you need to get more volume. This is the one that actually supports your strength training. It's trained by moderate volume blocks, controlled holds, consistent high-intensity work. The second type is ATP PC repeatability. It is your ability to recover ATP for high force singles. So it's a system that's responsible for high intensity for short bursts. So for example, cluster sets or EMOM of high intensity single repetitions. This lets you hit multiple max effort reps in a session. Now the third kind is high intensity strength endurance, which is your ability to keep producing high force inside the same set when you're already fatigued. For example, re-entering planche after already maxing out the hold, or planche drop sets like holding full planche into straddle planche or full front lever into straddle front lever without pausing in between. 4 is anaerobic glycotic endurance, and that is duration of time in continuous high intensity. This is your combo stamina. Basically, how long you can continuously train at high intensity with no rest within a single set, like 20 to 60 seconds of continuous high tension. You can think of calisthenics competitions, for example, where you're going for a minute straight without pausing and doing only high intensity movements one after another in a row. So examples of this are long combination sequences or repeatedly entering a hold for a certain duration of time and you don't stop until the timer has passed. The fifth one is aerobic endurance, and this is your session engine. This is what people refer to as cardio. This is what helps you recover faster and be able to do longer training because you're recovering more efficiently. So this has nothing to do with planche reps. This has nothing to do with what you're training. This is your ability to recover fast between the sets and stay sharp for long sessions. An example of this is probably like incline treadmill, low intensity cycling, whatever it is, even walking. If this sucks, your session falls apart halfway. And the last one is muscular endurance, and that is high reps with low intensity. And what this is, for example, sets and reps competitions where a person will do 50, 100 push-ups, 100 dips, whatever it is in a single set. This is burn training. It's almost useless for static strength, and this is the endurance many beginners accidentally mistake for volume. I want to underline that there is absolutely no reason for you to train this kind of endurance unless your goal is specifically high reps and low intensity training. So having explained all the kinds of endurance, now let's talk about periodization. Most people think that calisthenics periodization is something like this. It's intensity versus volume. It's high reps versus low reps. It's easy blocks versus hard blocks. And that is wrong. In advanced calisthenics, your intensity always stays high. The variable that you're changing is not volume, but rather it is the endurance system you're trying to target within that intensity phase. So for example, if you want to do more sets of full planche, train max strength endurance. Do you want to do more full planche presses? Train ATP PC repeatability. Do you want longer routines? Train glycotic endurance. Do you want longer sessions and faster recovery? Train aerobic endurance on the side. This is real periodization for static strength. Now, I do want to talk a little bit about bad form because this is very important. When high-level athletes say just build bad form, they're not talking about strength volume. They're not saying train ugly reps in hopes that suddenly you unlock a single clean rep. And if that is something that they actually mean, that means that they have probably been training what you're trying to accomplish for 10, 20 years, and they're trying to reverse engineer the progress just based on what they did. That doesn't work. What bad form is a tool to help you get more exposure, to build tolerance in the joints, to build confidence in the movement, to improve familiarity, and allow you to do more total sets without switching to a lower progression. Bad form is simply a way to sneak in more sets at slightly lower intensity so that you can work on the endurance system that's holding you back. You might ask which endurance system? Usually it's max strength endurance. If you haven't solved that specific endurance problem, then you simply won't be able to add more sets. You'll gas out, fail early, or your reps will collapse. Again, bad form is simply a workaround to accumulate enough total sets in the same progression. That's it. Now here's the video in one line. Strength increases when you add more high-intensity sets. Your ability to do more high-intensity sets depends on the endurance system that you train. Not all endurance systems help, only the right one, so make sure to train the right one depending on your current situation. Alright, so if you found value in this video and you want to learn more, that's exactly what I do inside OKIRU one-on-one. I teach you all the concepts in calisthenics so you understand your training, you understand plans, and you understand how to make your own plans, make your own structure, and continue your calisthenics journey alone. Book a call with me and I'll show you exactly how to get started. Alternatively, join my school community. We just passed 500 people, which I'm very, very grateful for, and the link is in the description. Alright, let's wrap it up here. Remember that you have to know exactly why you're training what you're training for you to progress efficiently. And drop a like, subscribe, and see you in the next one.